parents had apparently been filing for months. The insurance company tried to get dismissed from the suit, but the judge shut that down fast when our lawyers showed they'd gotten multiple reports about kids getting hurt at that specific center. 3 months after this whole nightmare started, Mrs. Wilson's trial began, and I sat in that courtroom watching Miss Lexi take the stand in her cheap gray suit, looking like she hadn't slept in weeks. She told the jury everything about their training sessions, where they were taught that stimming was basically defiance, and they had to stop it no matter what to help the kids be normal, which made several parents in the gallery start crying. The prosecutor had her read from the training manual they'd found during the raid, actual printed instructions about using physical intervention to stop disruptive behaviors, with foam specifically mentioned as an option. Another therapist testified the next day about how she'd quit 6 months ago after refusing to participate, but Wilson had threatened to blacklist her from working anywhere in the state if she reported anything. She'd kept recordings of Wilson screaming at staff meetings about quotas and threatening to fire anyone whose kids were still stimming after a month of treatment, playing them right there in court. The jury took 4 hours to find Wilson guilty on everything, and the judge gave her 5 years, plus she can never work with kids or disabled people again, which still didn't feel like enough, but at least it was something. 2 weeks after the verdict, I finally brought Elijah home with his feeding tube and this whole schedule of therapies and medications that took up half our kitchen counter. He was so delayed from everything that happened, but he was alive and home, and that's all that mattered, even though I had to quit my job to take care of him full-time. The center's building went up for sale immediately to pay all the lawsuit settlements, and this group of autism parents bought it to start a non-profit with cameras in every room and parents allowed to observe any session they wanted. They painted over everything and put up this big sign about acceptance and neurodiversity, and Jennifer from the parking lot that first day ended up running the whole thing with actual autistic adults helping design the programs. 6 months went by, and Miss Lexi got out of jail early for good behavior, and the letter she sent me sat on my kitchen counter for 3 days before I could even open it. The envelope had this shaky handwriting, and when I finally read it, she wrote about how sorry she was and how she never meant for things to go so far. But sorry doesn't bring back the months of hell we went through. I threw the letter in a drawer and focused on dealing with the insurance company who finally agreed to cover most of Elijah's care after their lawyers decided it was assault, not a medical issue, but we still had bills coming in every week that ate up our savings. The speech therapist alone cost $200 a session, and Elijah needed 3 sessions a week plus occupational therapy and feeding therapy and special equipment for his room. Ivy called me one afternoon to tell me she won some big journalism award for her articles about the center, and her investigation got 3 more places shut down in other states when parents there read her stuff and started asking questions. She sent me a copy of the award with a note saying none of it would have happened without us speaking up first, which was nice but didn't help pay the bills or make Elijah better. Gideon got promoted to head of some new task force for investigating abuse in disability services, and he called to thank me for bringing the case to him because it changed his whole career path. He said they were already looking into 20 other facilities and finding problems at half of them, which made me sick thinking about all those other kids going through what Elijah did. The state legislature passed something they called Elijah's Law, requiring cameras in every therapy room and surprise inspections, and parents getting footage within a day if they ask for it.